Hey guys, welcome back. I want to talk about a Chris Reeve uh, knife that I have not handled before. And my brother, as I've talked about before, he's a big Chris Reeve fan. He's got a bunch, he's had a bunch. He likes to buy and sell. He likes to get something, decide he doesn't like it, and sell it, and then a few months later, a few weeks later, a couple of months later, he buys it again. So I think this is going to be number 4 that he has had. He currently does not have any of these, and this is the Umnumzaan, I think is how you pronounce it. I think this is the 4th one that he's going to end up having. So let's just talk about it. The first thing I want to do is say that I really appreciate how Chris Reeve does their, packaging. It's always done very nice. And while so many other knife makers are saying you cannot open, don't open our knives, don't take them apart, don't do nothing, Chris Reeve goes the absolute opposite direction. One, they have a very nice kind of birth certificate, if you will, with the date on it, which is very cool. I really do like when there is a, quote, birth date on a knife. I just think that's very cool. It tells you a little bit of details about the knife. They not only give you the tools that you need to take it apart, but they also give you some grease and Loctite. I mean, come on now, that's just class act right there. And if you don't know how to take it apart or what is inside, they give you an exploded diagram, a list of all of the different parts and pieces. I mean, I don't know. I'm impressed with that. Every time I see a Chris Reeve, I get excited about the paperwork. I mean, it tells you, even look at that. It tells you the angles to sharpen it, how to clean it, how to tighten everything. I mean, come on, guys. Why are some of these other manufacturers, custom makers, and whatnot voiding your warranty if you tighten the pivot? Basically giving you crap if you even sharpen it. I mean, that's a little bit of an extreme case. I don't know that there's anybody really giving you crap if you sharpen your knife. But having been around for quite a while, having had knives from so many different makers, manufacturers, and whatnot, there's a lot of silly, dumb stuff that happens out there that voids a warranty, or they may fix it. What's common is they give you a hard time, but then they fix it. They just kind of want to belittle is a little bit of a little strong, but they do kind of want to make you feel bad that you are asking them to fix something. And then at the end of the day, they fix it, even though the reality is it was their fault. So, all right, let me step down off of my soapbox. And let's talk about this thing. It's 4 3/4 inches long, just a hair over. It has kind of a weird little nub there at the end of the blade. Okay. Overall is 8 3/8, 3.6 inch blade, 3.45 cutting edge. As we saw in the paperwork, it is S35VN, beautiful Tonto grind. Blade thickness is 0.140, overall thickness of 0.464. Weighs in at 5 ounces and runs on washers. I'm guessing that this is part of the stop, quote, pin mechanism. That does kind of it helps lock it in to the lock bar. Let me grab a light here real quick. Let's see if we can show that a little better. So yeah, that nub on the end of the blade kind of helps rest. Let's see if you can see it there. It rests against the lock bar, and that is what they use as a stop pin, so to speak. It's odd to me. That little point sticking out is just odd to me. It works. It's okay. But that's not the only odd thing that I have. So most knives, let me reach over here and see if I've got something else that will show this better. Well, this one doesn't, but I already pulled it out. This is just straight across, but you have enough room to access the lock bar. Okay. Normally, or on a lot of knives, it's kind of there is a kind of an indentation there that gives you that access to be able to get to the lock bar. So if you see on this Kubi, this is kind of cut out a little bit more than this is, so that you have access. This is kind of a little bit lower, so you have access to reach your thumb in there to the lock bar. Okay? This one kind of goes opposite. This part of the lock bar sticks proud of the other scale. So it's odd to me. It works fine, but it feels a little odd in the hand. When you grab this, to me, I feel this bump, the lock bar bump, I guess I would call it. I feel it in my fingers, which is unusual to me. It just feels odd. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a weird choice. This is a really nice grind on the blade. Really nice stonewashing. Nicely milled titanium handles. The lanyard is non-existent, which is good. I mean, it shows the lanyard on the parts list here, but they took it off, which is fine. My brother's not a lanyard guy either. Your standard, Chris Reeve clip, which works great. Over travel stop, and Idaho made. So very standard affair for your Chris Reeve styles. Now, I have not had this model, like I said. I have had the Sabenzas, large and small, both drop point, Tonto, and the Insingo blade, I think is how you pronounce it. Let's do a couple of quick size comparisons while we chat about that. Sharpie, I'm a Chris Reeve fan, but they've never stuck around. I've sold them all. I just sold the last one a couple months ago. So, yeah, they're not keepers for me. That was the Spyderco Delica. Since I pulled it out, the Kubi KB237. Awesome little liner lock for $30 or whatever. Awesome knife. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. My brother likes these models. We'll see how long he keeps it. He has a habit of flipping stuff around quite often. So, it'll be good. I'll get this ship back out to him so that he can enjoy it because he hasn't seen it yet. He was gracious enough to buy it, have the owner send it to me so I could check it out, and then I will send it along to my brother. So, thank you for that. And thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it, as always. And let me know what you think of some of these little quirky things that I pointed out. Am I just the guy who's kind of weird about it? Or have you noticed that those are kind of quirky design elements? So, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.